How many remember fishing on Lake Metonga in Crandon, Wisconsin, and you lost dozens of lures and hooks getting snagged on some wood debris on the bottom of the lake? Well, my friends, odds are those logs and brush were most likely a fish crib or fish shelter. Here is a video I put together from the early 1960s showing the process and all the hard work that went into creating these fishing hotspots. I believe it was the Wolf's Head Sportsman's Club and the good old boys that made these. When watching, try to imagine the hard work, organization, and time it took to build these. Here you will see the first step in the process, where they cut down the trees, cut up the brush and then put into piles. Here you will see Gary Bradley cutting down the tree. I did get the chance to show Gary the original copy of the DVD I had made. Gary said, "Grizz, that was the very first tree I ever cut down." Well, if you knew Gary, you know he told a few tales in his time and most likely had cut down thousands of trees before this one. Here you can see the old pickup trucks in the background and the small dozer pushing up the brush into piles. They would then load the trucks up with the small logs and brush and take them to the lake. Most every man had a chainsaw back then, and as you can see they were a bit bigger and a whole lot heavier. Axes and chainsaws were these men's livelihood to feed their families. After a few hours of hard work, the men would take a break to warm up by the fire and have something to eat and drink. Wish I was there to hear the conversation between them. I can only imagine the stories, laughter and BS that was being told. Gary jumps up on a log pile after break to roll a cigarette and gives the camera that iconic wink. They now drive the loaded trucks to the lake and unload enough logs, brush and rocks to build each fish crib on select spots on the lake. Next, the men start to cut the holes through the ice using various ice saws, chainsaws and chisels. They would cut the holes large enough so that the trucks could push in the finished crib into the hole. You can see the line of fish cribs that are constructed and ready for the holes to be cut. Then the cribs would be pushed in with the trucks to lie on the bottom of the lake. These cribs will attract hundreds of fish of all sizes and species. Once the ice had been cut, the men would use long poles or chisels to push the heavy blocks of ice under the ice to make way for the incoming fish crib. These blocks of ice were too heavy to lift out. Ice harvesting from lakes has been around for hundreds of years. In earlier days they would use lake ice for the family's ice boxes to keep their food fresh or frozen. Some ice harvesting still exists today. Here the truck pushes in the fish crib. You will notice all the small branches and smaller poles confined within the main log frame. Each crib will have a plastic jug attached to the crib to mark the crib's location for summer fishing. You can see how many men it would take to accomplish such a huge project like this. The hundreds of hours and hard labor they spent to ensure that our lakes in and around Crandon would sustain a healthy ecosystem. Lake Metonga is known for its walleye and perch fishery. It is a shame, but I believe the Wisconsin DNR would have a, pardon the reference, a shit conniption if we were to undertake a project like this today. God bless all who were involved in making our lives in and around Crandon a special place to live and play. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel The Grizz Show. You will get notifications of all my new videos that I post. Share, like, and subscribe.